Hi, it's Mary with All That's Crafty, and I thought today we'd get together and make a card. So thanks for joining me. If you saw the other video I uploaded, this is the album that I made for my girlfriend Mindy. Ginger from my sister's Scrapper showed how to create this gatefold mini, so thank you, Ginger, for that. And so I created that, and if you want to see that, just look in my channel and you'll find the video for that. So today I'm going to make a card for Mindy. I'm going to use this stamp set that I got from Tuesday Morning for $1.99, and it's a what do they call that? Sorry, TBC. So there's the stamp set. I'm just going to use the one of the phrases out of there, and then the little buggy is what I want to use out of there. And so we're going to use Pretty in Pink.
I didn't know it wasn't even attached.
Pretty in Pink ink from Stampin' Up. I've got some Recollections Heart Bling and some Stampin' Up bling, and then we've got Memento ink because I'm going to use a color Copic marker YO2. We got a Cuttlebug embossing folder, and it's with those little dots. So I've already run my piece of cardstock through there, and I've got a little scallop. This is actually from the Lifestyles Crafts. So I have this one. It's a perfect size to cut out the little baby buggy. And this is the base card, and it's the same Recollection cardstock that I made the album out of. And I'm going to accent it with a little bit of yellow. Just a very small piece of this will border our accent. Well, not our accent, but our verbiage. Thank you, Garrett. And so this is actually Daffodil Delight. So let's get started. I'm going to start by stamping out the little buggy. And if you've never played with one of these Fiskars Stampin' Press, they are wonderful. I love this. I am what you would call a heavy-handed stamper, so if I over ink my image, I tend to get ink around the edge of the stamp, and then when I stamp it, I'm getting ink everywhere that I don't want it. This is just a piece of scrap from my stash, so I found a good spot that I can use. I'm going to ink this up real good with Memento Tuxedo Black. Just stamp this down. I love this ink press. And I'm going to punch this out with my circle punch, which is from Stampin' Up 1 3/4 circle punch. So let me move that to the side. I can go ahead and punch this out. I'm going to line it up, punch that out, give that just a second to dry. And what I can also do is use my Recollections little repositional adhesive. So I don't want it to move around while I color it, so I can just stick it down. So I don't have to hold it because it's so tiny, and I can color it and let this dry. So like I said before, this is YO2. I'm gonna go around all the little teeny tiny dots. I'm not gonna worry about doing any shading or blending. This is just gonna be a very simple card. I just didn't feel the need that I needed to go into great length of trying to get it shadowed and whatnot. So just going to color this really quickly. I wonder if you can hear my washing machine going. Doing laundry today. So there it is. So while that's drying, I'll grab some of this, and I'm just going to grab a couple of these real tiny rhinestones here, and I'm going to put these on the wheels. Put that one there, and then put another one right in the center of this wheel over here. Because what little girl wouldn't want her little baby buggy to have some bling. So then the next thing I'm going to do is take this Stampin' Up! Dazzling, I think it's Dazzling Details, but it's their glitter. And I'm just going to make it where I can start to see the glitter come out of the tube, just to get it started, because I want just the tiniest of dabs. And just when it starts to touch, I pull it back away. And that will give me just the right amount without getting a big glob of glitter for such a teeny tiny dot. So that's all done. So I've done that so it can dry. So just let me pick it up, and I'm just going to move it over to the side. That way you can sit there and it can dry, and we'll work on the rest of the card. The other thing I've done is I went ahead and I scored this card in half, and we're going to actually just attach the polka dot piece right across the top, and we're going to add this ribbon across the bottom of the card. So what I'm going to do is get my red line, which is right here, and my Timmy scissors. I have this massive thing of red line, so I'm going to go ahead and use it up. I got it for a really good deal. It's great adhesive. I just hate the clinginess of the backing. So I'm not going to cut that off. I'm just going to lay it down, put my adhesive on here because I don't want to waste any of my ribbon. Burnish that just a second so I can pull the backing off and leave the adhesive. See what I mean by their static? And I'll fold that over and put that right on there. And then I'll do the same on this side. Just lay that right down. This little pokey tool works great for picking up that. They're sticking it to me again. Now let me grab my fabric scissors, because I never cut anything else with my fabric scissors but fabric. And I highly recommend that. Have different scissors for different applications. So I'm going to just wrap this around, making sure it's the same on both sides, and folding it over. So there you have it. It's a little hint of ribbon, and then that's going to be mounted on the card like this. So let me go ahead and get my AGT gun, and we'll just run some adhesive here all the way around. We'll run it right across the bottom. And I'll center it right here. Okay, that looks good to me. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to get a scallop of the pink for framing the little buggy. So I grabbed this, and oh good, it will fit. So we're just going to lay that on the big shot, which is sitting right in front of me. And I'll just crank that through, and we'll have our little scallop pink border. Crank that through. Perfect. So I have that. So that's going to go on our card right here with the buggy on top of it. And the next thing we need to do is our sentiment. So out of this, I want to use the welcome little one. So let me pull that off. Don't want to rip it. Be careful. Alright. Here's my handy dandy little stamp press. Love it. And this grid is perfect because it helps you line up your little sentiments nice and straight. If you know, are particular, you can easily do that. And I'm going to go ahead and try doing it in the Pretty in Pink, and let's see how that turns out for an ink color. I know it's pretty soft, but what the heck, we'll give it a go. If we don't like it, we can always stamp another one, right? No harm, no foul. So let me move that out of the way, because I don't like that under there for stamping. And I'm going to stamp right here. There's some clean paper left right here. So let me center that, and we'll ink this up. I always tend to ink them like this if I can. I'm not sure how this ink will do. They do better on the rubber stamps than they do on these acrylics, so we'll give it a go. See how I like it. Press that down. See, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to hold it up to you. It's stamped, but it's really blotchy, in my opinion. I don't care for it. Let's Garrett zoom in on there. I would prefer it be crisp.
Focus.
So we're going to stamp it again, and we're going to use the Memento, just because. Right here. For that, I'm going to use the Onyx black ink. And Stampin' Up! Is great ink, but I find they stamp much better on the rubber mounted, or the rubber stamps, not so much on this polymer stamps.
Like the wood mount?
Yeah. The rubber ones. So we're going to clean this off, and then I'm going to dry it. Just dry it real quick. You can also just dry it here, touching down there. And this is a wonderful ink here, VersaFine. This Onyx black ink is a great black ink. So we're going to do it over here on another clean spot. We're just going to turn this over. We're going to ink it up again and watch the difference at how this ink works. It's just great ink for sentiments. It's very, very nice and crisp ink. So I'm going to lay this down nice and straight. See?
Looks bold.
See the difference? You probably don't even have to see it too terribly up close. Much better. So just wipe that stamp off real quick, set it to the side. I gotta put the cover back on here. Whoops. Sorry, my son is crashing. So anywho, now let's cut this out. And I'm just gonna cut it with my trimmer. I had it locked. So this is going to be my straight edge on the bottom. And what I love is that this has this little wire guiding there. I can see exactly where it's going to cut in relationship to my word. So I just eyeball it, give it about the same distance top and bottom. And don't fret over it too much. I mean, if someone's going to whip out a ruler to make sure you got it right down the, right in the center, well, we'll just pray for them, because they don't have a life, and we do. So anyhow, there's that one. I do need to put my replacement blade on here, because it is being a little funky about trimming and not tearing the cardstock. So I got that one done, and I'm going to use a corner rounder. Go ahead and round these corners. This is just an old one that I've had for years and years, and the thing is, darn thing has not worn out yet. So let me see if I can get it in with this little bitty one. I don't think it's going to cut too much. Yeah, let's try it. Woo! Did you see that? I'm flying.
It moved too fast.
it sprouted wings. Oh, this is going to be kind of cool, because it's kind of make a point on it. How cool is that? Watch this.
Yeah,
How it made a little point instead of being perfectly round. So I really like that. That's kind of cool. So let me just stick this one in here and cut this one.
Watch this. It plays like a little comet.
Turn this over, and I'm just eyeballing it to line it up. And see? There you go. So got that corner rounded. Semi-corner rounded. And then, let's see, I had some more pink. Let's grab the pink again. Oh no, I want to use the yellow. I changed my mind. Let's grab the yellow, and we're just going to make a little piece to border this. So I can measure this right here. This has actually turned out to be a 1/2 inch, so I know if I use 3/4 inch, I'm good. So I'll just make this 3/4 inches. And I gotta replace this blade. Ooh, nasty. So, cut that off. Oh, what did I do? 1/2 inch. I did a whole inch. I thought that looked a little large. Too funny. I knew that was way too big, so why don't we take 1/4 off? Try that again. How funny.
That's half there.
I'm getting it.
One line too many.
Okay. You can't hold the paper. Man.
I think if you put the blade on the other end and got some momentum, you'd cut it better.
The director's trying to give the crafter advice. Cracks me up every time. Let me go this way. This little trimmer. Just to clean up that edge. And it did. There we go. It is still rough. I do need to change that blade out. Next time I'll cut this first, like I did the other pieces. So, remove that. There's our welcome little one. That's much better. So, what I also can do is I can take the pink though, and I did have a sponge here. There it is. And we'll ink the edges of this, just because the white make it calm down a little bit. I'm not a fan of white edges if I can help it. So here we've inked around that with the pretty and pink and a little sponge. Put that to the side. Want to see how that is? Go ahead and use this little tool again.
Did it do the same? So.
How do you like the hopping around? Oh, you know I forgot to trim it off the side. Duh. Repeat after me. Hey, if I can make a card, you can make a card, right? Isn't that how we go? If I can do it, you can do it. That's for sure. We just won't tell Mindy how much fun we had making her card.
Oh, brother.
Okay, try this again. And y'all were probably sitting there at home watching me do that and go, you forgot to trim it, trim it. So, it's trimmed now. So, there we go. It is back in the drawer. Big gun. Put that on there. Put this little bad boy here. Center it up. Then we're going to pop this up on some pop dots, which are in this drawer right here. So I'll just turn this little bad boy over and give it a lift. Wouldn't you wish it was that easy for us to get a little lift? Just pull out our magic box and drawer and just, there you go. You're lifted. Boy, it'd make a fortune, don't you think? It'd all make a fortune. So here we go. Here's a card. Got our little verbiage here. Well, it's not the best, but you know what? Isn't it the thought that counts? So, there we go. And, you know, I might probably tear that off when you're not watching and redo it because I am a bit of a perfectionist. So, once again, let's get this and be careful and not get our fingers in the little bits of glitter that we put on the little buggy for the baby to ride. And then we're going to just adhere this onto the scallop that we made. Just center that. Can you see that? Center that there. And then once again, I'm going to pop this up on some dimensionals as well. Yeah, those are dry. It's very careful, I promise. So we'll pop this up on some dimensionals. I know I'm kind of a dimensional crazy person. I give them a lift. I like lots of lift there. And we'll shake that off. Put this right here. So I got a little yellow going on. There we go. And you know what? I really don't like that at all. So I will take that off. But other than that, I think the card's cute. It's very simple, except when you make mistakes. But who doesn't make a mistake every now and then? Okay. There's your card. Welcome, little one. And then there's some great sentiments that you can stamp on the inside. And thanks for watching. Bye.